happy shiny puppy. This is Melody Fletcher, author of Deliberate Receiving. Finally, the universe makes some freaking sense. And today's video, we're going to talk about this massive doubt that will no doubt come up at some point as you're doing this work. It's something that all of us grapple with on a regular basis, and certainly every time that we level up. And that is, what if this law of attraction stuff, what if this reality creation stuff is all just a bunch of crap? So, like I said, it tends to come up again and again, so it's totally normal and natural if you're experiencing that kind of doubt from time to time. Because here's the thing, how do you know that it's not a bunch of crap? You don't. You can't know anything for sure. You know, we humans are so caught up on trying to find the facts and the truth, like there's one truth with a bunch of facts surrounding it. And yes, scientists, I'm even talking to you, when the only thing that you can really ever know is that you don't really know shit. All we have are conclusions and best guesses based on the data that we've gathered so far. And in the next minute, you could discover more data that blows everything that you know right out of the water. So how do you know anything? Well, the only way to experience the feeling of knowing, when you understand that you don't really know anything, is to choose it. So you choose to believe and you choose to know. And this kind of puts all belief systems in a nice little perspective because, you know, we tend to think, oh, I have to believe this because it's true, when all that has happened is that you've practiced that belief over and over and over again because maybe, you know, your family, your culture, your neighborhood, the people that came before you also chose to believe that this was true, and so you believe it, and so you think that you're locked into some kind of a belief system, but you're not. And this is one of the most empowering realizations that we can have, is that we get to choose what we believe. We get to choose what we know. And so does everybody else. So how do you choose to believe that this is true? Well, let's look at the opposite first. What if it really is a bunch of crap? Sit with that for a minute. Just allow yourself to really feel that. What if it's all a bunch of crap? What if I am a total charlatan and I have no idea what I'm talking about, and you know, all those books, all the people who've written all the books, it's just a total farce, and you don't actually create your own reality, and it's all just chance, and bad shit just happens for no reason whatsoever. And what if that's true? Does that feel good? Nah, I'm guessing it doesn't, right? Did you just get a big old pit in your stomach? Did you just go, oh, yeah? So here's what I recommend. You don't have to do this, but it's what I recommend. Choose to believe that which feels better to you. So the idea that all of this is crap, the ramifications of that, they don't feel good. The idea that you do create your own reality, yeah, feels a lot better. That there's a rhyme and reason to things, and not a reason such as somebody outside of you is determined that this is your destiny and we're going to punish you or we're going to reward you or anything like that, but that it is a simple mechanism that is mirroring back your vibration to you. Oftentimes that feels a lot better because it feels a lot more empowering. Yeah, empowering generally feels a lot better than powerlessness. The beautiful thing about this is that whether you believe it or not, the way this mechanism works, which the law of attraction is a part of, this mirroring mechanism, it will prove you right no matter what you choose to believe. So if you choose to believe that you're powerless, you're going to get proven right. You're going to live in a powerless world. If you choose to believe that you're more empowered, you're going to live in a more empowered world. And this is something you can prove to yourself, meaning that you can get evidence of it and you can choose to believe that evidence, choose to validate that evidence, and then use that to foster more belief, which then swaps over into the feeling of knowing. But you know, it's really, really valuable to understand that what you're searching for is your truth and not the truth. So when we look at things and ask questions such as, is this crap? What if it's a bunch of crap? What we're really doing is we're saying, what if this is not the way it works for everybody? And then we try to get other people on board. If you believe it and you believe it and you believe it and you believe it, then it's true, right? Then I can believe it. And then we go out and we evangelize and we proselytize and we become really, really adamant about preaching the gospel of insert link here. And that's what's happening there, by the way, when you meet somebody who's really preachy, you know, and they might be doing it with tons of passion, but they just need to get you on board. That person is really insecure about what they believe. Yeah, and that's okay, but it would be better to just acknowledge that. Hey, I don't know anything, but I've gathered some information, I've come to some conclusions, I've figured out what works for me right now in this moment, and the next moment I may gather more data, which means I'll come to a different conclusion, and then I'll change my mind on what works for me in that moment. And don't worry about what everybody else believes. So the only question is the question is not, is it crap? The question is, does it work for you? Does it feel better to you? Does it feel true to you? And that's it. So obviously, for me, it feels like the best philosophy I've ever found. It makes sense of everything in my life. It explains why we have total free will, and it also supports the idea of total free will, because when you bring all that judgment into it, of, you know, some outside source judging us and rewarding us or punishing us, that's not free will, because free will, to have true free will, yeah, all options have to be open and valid, totally valid. Not, I'll give you that option, but it's the wrong one, yeah, that's kind of sadistic. The idea that nothing means anything and that this is all just some kind of a mistake or a coincidence and we're all just bopping around, well, that just doesn't feel true to me. For me, it doesn't feel true at all. It doesn't make sense of anything, because there are so many experiences I've had in my life that really did, you know, seem to show me that there was more of a pattern going on and it wasn't all just sort of random. And so over time I've gathered those experiences and I've been able to see it working for me and making sense of my life for me. But when you have those doubts coming up, go ahead and take a look at them and see how that feels. What if it's a bunch of crap? How does that feel? Yeah? And if it doesn't feel good and this feels better, then understand that you are choosing to believe it. Not because it's the truth, it's because it's the truth that feels right to you in this moment. Okay? So hopefully I've explained that clearly. I will see you tomorrow. We're almost at the end of this 30-day challenge. This is day 28. Oh my God. So I will see you tomorrow. And thank you for bringing your light to the world. Bye.